Today is UNESCO's International Day of Education, an occasion to bring focus to the economic role of learning in bringing prosperity and alleviating poverty. An estimated 771 million adults can't read or write, and while more and more children are in school, all too many are learning next to nothing, according to a World Bank report. In sub-Saharan Africa, that figure rises to some 89%. It's estimated that 70% of 10-year-olds in much of the developed world are unable to read a simple piece of text. Well, let's talk this through with Clement Uwajeneza, who is joining us live from Kigali, the Africa Director for NewGlobe, a company which both runs private schools and works with governments to improve attainment in state sector schools. A warm welcome to you. So you operate across Africa, in many parts of Africa where education is not necessarily a given, is it?
Yes, thank you, Sally, for that question and having me here this morning. Indeed, that's the case, and we know that most kids are going to school, but they aren't learning, and many governments have been putting efforts and investment to make sure every child has access to education. But within school, they aren't learning, and we know that that's because teachers need more training and more support. They need better access to teaching, high-quality teaching and learning material, and governments need to gather enough data for continuous improvement of schools' operations and policy making for the transformation of the education system.
Now, we all know why education is so important for the individual, but also for an economy. The economic benefits when a population is well educated is a well-known fact. So what practical steps can be taken at a national level in countries where you operate to increase education?
We have seen approaches that work. When we leverage technology to support teacher access high-quality teaching and learning material, we use data to continuously coach them and train them and upskill them. But we also leverage data to improve school management and policy making. This makes tremendous improvements. Nobel Prize economist Michael Kramer has studied some of these methods, and specifically the one underpinning the support we provide to governments, and showed that in only 2 years, students or children exposed to this method learn the equivalent of an additional 1 year. So this is an opportunity to turn around the education system at speed and at scale.
But in many countries where you operate, for families, they actually need more the finance that their children will bring in if they're working, rather than if they're actually at school. And that's the real challenge, isn't it, for families?
Indeed, it is a challenge. But again, when they start to notice that there is considerable improvement in their children's behavior and their children are actually learning and making improvement, then they start to trust more and more these education systems and are more incentivized to let their children stay in school. So improving quality is key for them to find economic benefit or for the future of their children.
Okay, Clement Uwajeneza, thank you for your time. Interesting to get your take on that from NewGlobe.